Welcome to week 22 of From the Ground Up, where we are trying to reseed the infrastructure of food production across the UK and one day the world. We are in the depths of June now, and it has been a busy couple of weeks. What we do here is to achieve our goal, we're trying three different things. Number one is starting a small farm here in Essex, which we have free-range heritage breed hens, and then we've got low-line, Australian low-line, miniature Aberdeen Angus cattle. And the goal between the two is to improve soil quality and also prove that small production can work on a small local scale. Second, I'm running social media campaigns between here and TikTok and Instagram, with the goal of building up a community of like-minded people who are interested in doing similar projects, achieving similar goals to myself. And then finally, I'm building a platform known as Yosis that is with its purpose to be the operating system of that change. So I'll break it down for you this week. I'm going to try and do it all in one take, and we'll see how we get on. So I've just finished morning rounds out in L1, and they're doing pretty good. The feather coverage is looking incredible out there. Just out in L1 and admiring the feather coverage. It's not perfect, as even down here, but in general, couldn't really ask for better feather coverage from a flock of 150. I'm rather pleased with them, I must say. It's taken a long time to get there, but it's the real sign of a happy, healthy flock, is the quality of the feathers coverage in the hens. So that is really pleasing. And then this lot, we've got a party at the weekend, and so this is our car park, and so we've got all the herd out on the trying to graze it down. So we've got the calves out here as well. The 6 calves have come from pasture in the village, and then we've got some of the heifers who are about to calve. So this is Lilibet, and she's about to calve hopefully within the next couple of months. Same with Luella at the back there, and then everyone else is just a bit fat, ready to calve in the future. And we've even got Bully out here as well. He's got a sore eye at the moment, which is a bit unfortunate. But things are going reasonably well. I'm just knackered and haven't got enough time to do enough things, which is why I've completely failed the TikTok gang. I haven't produced any videos over there. We've got more eggs in the incubator, hopefully hatching in, well, it'll be 2.5 weeks now. A lot of, you can hear the chime there, that is the no fence collar. We've got a virtual fence going down here, and so they just hear the chime and turn around. Ain't that right? So yeah, we've got last lot of chicks hopefully hatching in a couple of weeks. They will then fill up Dad's new chicken house, with the goal of getting about 350 laying hens in there. I don't know if we'll achieve that number, but we'll get reasonably close. A bit too close to. Let me move this out of the way so then the cows aren't sat on the fence line. These guys are doing really well. I mean, look at my grass. This is, actually I'll take you over here. This is the pinnacle of what we're doing. So this is really like the only piece of grass that has done exactly what we want to set out to achieve, and it's looking fantastic. But look at the depth of that stuff. So much so that the wind's blowing it over. I've never had problems with wind blowing the grass over in my life. But so we're doing 3 things to improve the grass quality. One is fertilising. We do a natural fertiliser with this lot. So you can see, I mean, you can see where they've been. All these dark patches, which you can see over there, that's all fertiliser from the chickens. And so we've gone over here once. And then the second thing is we've seeded it. We put a herbal lay down. And then the third thing, we've rested it. And this has actually been grazed already this year. And so this has been grazed once already this year as well. And it's not doing quite as well. There's a lot more bare open coverage. Come on, get out of the way. Otherwise you're going to get electrocuted. You're going to get electrocuted. Come on. going to get electrocuted. Oh no. Oh, that's Moirana. Moirana has learnt that she knows exactly how long the chime is. This is Bully, Kelso. He's got a sore eye at the moment. I don't know if you can see. You can see it's a bit cloudy. He's got ulcers in it, which he's on antibiotics for. There's Moirana. She gets chimed hundreds of times a day. It's quite extraordinary. So yeah, the grass is going really quite well in this field. This is like our proof of concept, and it's really reassuring how well it's working out here. So I'm very pleased about that. And it's been raining non-stop for the last week or so, which has been really good news as well. And then it's beautiful sun as well. So it's prime growing grass conditions. And it's warming up as well. Social media wise, I haven't done anything, literally nothing. I barely been getting these YouTube videos out. And that's just because I don't have the headspace, to be honest with you. I'm trying to get back, and actually I saw recently that Clarkson's Farm has just been released, so it's like a really good opportunity to try and grab some of that residual interest. But yeah, it's just, I just don't have the headspace for it. Which leads me on to Yosis, which is what I've been spending all of my headspace on outside of the animals, which is going well. So Johannes and Stephen are live now, and back to being live. They took it down after we had a bit of problems with the first order, and then we've had some issues with the And we had some issues with the mobile site. Turns out it didn't work very well on Android, and I don't run an Android in my test suite, so that's been added in. And really it's just the size of the screen. I think it turned out to be a thin screen, and that was what's causing the issue. It wouldn't have been Android specific, but we just needed a variety of screens. So hello. So we've got emulators and stuff for that. Just making sure I'm still recording after you've slobbered all over me. I also had a great catch up with some of the Discord gang. I met Mike and Bron there. Thank you very much to both of those for joining. And I did a first sort of demo, and what it became, I knew it was already going to be a problem, but then became immediate apparent, is that I just haven't bookended the different levels of the system. So actually when I'm going to be advertising this, a lot of the time I won't be advertising Yosis. I'll either be advertising a marketplace, which allows people to build their shop, or I'll be marketing the ability to build a marketplace to some of the bigger customers. And I don't really know which order to start, but like on a social media campaign, I think Yosis will be too complex to try and pitch in like 30-second videos. So I've got to really tighten down what I'm actually selling, and so that people can grasp the concept, because Yosis itself is an operating system that does everything from finance management, stock management, and then shop, e-commerce. It will do forecasting, it will do all sorts of things, and it becomes a really cool concept. It is just exactly that. It's the operating system, so it runs through all sorts of things. However, trying to sell that in an elevator pitch is going to be difficult. So I've got to really go bookend that, and that was quite obvious to me and everybody on the call, that I just need to figure out what I'm pitching, who I'm pitching to, and then make sure I tailor the pitch to them. Who is this? Can you not? Can you not? One of the things that I knew was going to happen, but was trying to ignore, was the companies offering the agents. So you've got Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, GitHub, which are actually just a skin on top of them, have just started upping their prices. So GitHub in particular, I was getting a mad deal through GitHub. I was getting hours of agent work because they had a different pricing model to the others. GitHub's just moved over to token modeling, and it's now the 4th of June, and I've used up I think 85% of my tokens. I'm still on quite a low tier. It's only £39 a month, so in the grand scheme of, you know, paying for an engineer or paying for an agent, I'm still a long way off. But, you know, I see that, and I see the analogy of boiling a frog quite often in terms of us getting dependent on agents and then whacking up the price. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I see people like PewDiePie. PewDiePie's just released Odysseus, and he's been working on that for a while. It's really interesting to see what kind of open source stuff we can get to. I want to do a video on it at some point, but I'm really inspired at the moment, the concept that whilst these guys are, you know, taking us for everything we're worth, they've accidentally given us the tools to overthrow them. And when I say these guys, I don't believe in the world order. I believe in capitalism just doing its thing. And if we can build systems that actually work for the users and the customers without having to cost too much money and without having to get venture capital behind them, suddenly we can actually turn the tide on this stuff, which is what I want to do with Yosis. I want to be able to do a lot of revenue share and things like that with the users, with the customers. And I can do that because I don't have the pressures of investors behind me. That being said, I will need some money at some point, so I've got to get the balance right. But I'm really inspired by this concept that right now, and it's a very, very small window, and I don't think the chances of us capitalising on it are quite slim, but we've been given the tools to reconstruct how society works in general. So we're going to give it a go. All in all, it's going reasonably well. I'm just knackered. I'll stop going over there. Oh, they've lost their bag. Well, get out of the way, otherwise you're going to get electrocuted. You're going to get electrocuted. But yeah, hopefully in the next couple of weeks I can get some time to get back into social media, because I do enjoy it. I love that interaction with the community, and also it's one of the strengths of that community is that I do post regularly, interact with everybody. So I've got to return. I think I'm going to reduce the number of come collect eggs with me and just do like 1 or 2 a week, and the rest will try and do some videos of just stuff. But yeah. Appreciate you all. Thank you for joining. And I'll see you on week 23.